Hey everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to share a story with you. Learning English isn't just about words or grammar. It's a journey full of ups and downs, moments of courage, and times when you just want to give up. But every little step forward brings you closer to your dreams. Today, I'm going to share a story that might sound familiar, something many of you might relate to. It's about a dream to learn English and speak it fluently. Let's dive in together and see where this journey takes us. My dream to learn English. I still remember the day it all began. I was watching a group of tourists in my town. They were speaking English, laughing, and sharing stories, and I couldn't understand a single word. At that moment, I felt a spark. I wanted to be able to understand them, to join in conversations like that, to connect with people from all over the world. That's when my dream began. My dream to learn English. But starting was harder than I imagined. I was shy and scared. I'd learned a few words here and there, but speaking them out loud? That felt impossible. One day, I decided to try. I went to a nearby cafe where I knew the staff spoke English. My heart was racing. When the waiter came over, I took a deep breath and said, "One coffee, please." He smiled, nodded, and brought me the coffee. I was thrilled. It was such a small thing, but for me, it felt like a huge accomplishment. That simple sentence gave me the courage to try again. I made a promise to myself that day. I said, I'm going to learn English, no matter how hard it is. I started practicing every day. I'd listen to English songs, try to catch the lyrics, and repeat them. I'd watch English movies with subtitles, pausing every few minutes to understand what they were saying. At first, it was so difficult. I felt lost, like I was drowning in words I didn't know. But I kept going. One of the hardest parts was speaking. I didn't have many people to practice with, so I would talk to myself in the mirror. I'd say things like, "Hello, how are you?" Or "Today is a nice day." I felt silly at times, but it helped me build confidence. Slowly, I learned new phrases, and I'd use them whenever I could. One day, at the grocery store, I asked the cashier, "How's your day?" She smiled and replied, "Good, thank you." I felt a rush of happiness. It was a small interaction. But it felt like a big step. Then came the challenges. There were times I felt like I wasn't making any progress. I remember one evening when I tried to speak with a tourist. I wanted to ask where they were from, but my words came out all wrong. I could feel my face turning red. I mumbled an apology and walked away, feeling so embarrassed. That night, I questioned myself. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe English is just too hard for me. But something inside me wouldn't let me quit. I thought about my dream, about why I started. I told myself, mistakes are just part of learning. So, I picked myself up and kept going. I practiced even harder. I'd listen to podcasts in English, trying to understand each word. I'd write down sentences, practice pronunciation, and even try to mimic the way native speakers talked. Over time, I started to see small improvements. One day, I went to a restaurant and ordered a meal entirely in English. The waiter understood me perfectly. I was overjoyed. It was moments like these that kept me motivated, that reminded me why I started. Each small success felt like a step closer to my goal, but it wasn't just about speaking. I wanted to understand English too. So, I started reading simple books, children's stories at first. I remember reading a story about a brave little dog. I could barely understand it, but I kept going, page by page, looking up words I didn't know. Slowly, the story made sense, and by the end, I felt like I'd conquered a mountain. There were days when I felt frustrated, like English was this giant puzzle I could never solve. I'd ask myself, why is it so hard? But then I'd remember all the little victories I'd had, and I'd remind myself, every step forward is progress. I still remember a special moment that changed everything for me. One evening, I was at a friend's party. Everyone there was speaking in English, and I felt nervous. But instead of staying silent, I decided to join in. I started sharing a story in English, a simple story, but it felt amazing. People listened, they laughed, and for the first time, I felt like I belonged. That night, I realized that my dream was no longer just a dream. It was becoming a reality. As time passed, English became a part of my daily life. I'd talk to myself while cooking, practice phrases while walking, and even dream in English sometimes. Each day, I'd learn something new. I'd pick up new words, understand new expressions, and my confidence grew. I was no longer afraid of making mistakes. I saw them as stepping stones on my journey. Now, looking back, I see how far I've come. I went from feeling terrified to speak a single word, to having conversations, to understanding books, and even to telling stories in English. It hasn't been an easy journey, but every challenge, every mistake has brought me closer to my dream, and I'm still learning. There's still so much to discover, so much to practice. But I'm no longer afraid. I know that with each day, I'm getting better. I know that every effort I make brings me closer to fluency. Conclusion: if you're on a similar journey, remember this: don't give up. It's okay to feel frustrated, to make mistakes, to feel like you're not good enough. But keep going. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. Because every word you speak, every sentence you try, brings you closer to your dream. If I can do it, so can you. So, let's keep moving forward, step by step, until we reach our dreams.